Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna, and I'm a psychologist specialized in emotional and binge eating. And today I want to discuss with you a very telling sign that something is off with your eating and with your binging that has absolutely nothing to do with food and how much you consume food and how much food is on the plate. So let me just say that there are very clear signs when someone is binging, such as having a lot of food in one sitting for the full day, for example, couple of nights a week or a couple of days a week. So it's not something that is just like occasional overeating. This is like big portions in one sitting. Feeling overwhelmed with how much you have eaten, feeling disgusted, feeling guilty, feeling out of control, obsessing over food, not even feeling and tasting the food, but feeling more that you're just like in a trance, and then you just kind of feel like you need to eat everything in front of you. There are many signs that you might have binge eating disorder. These are just a few. However, binge eating disorder is not something that affects only the quantities of the food that you eat or the way you eat or what foods you buy. It also affects how you behave with the people around you. As someone who has experienced this, as someone who has recovered from this, I can tell you that you are not living in a bubble where it's you and your food and then it's you and the people around you. Like, this problem affects your relationships, your work, your relationship with the kids, and basically your whole life. So here is one telling sign that something could be off and that you're not someone who just likes food or likes being alone with food, but it's a bigger problem. Let's say you go to work and all you can think about is how much food I'm going to eat tonight. You become distracted at work, you don't pay attention to your tasks. You go multiple times to the kitchen. If you have one, you go multiple times to the shop. You keep your candies and your snacks in your drawers and you're just like mindlessly eating, not really paying attention to work. That's already the first signs how your day is going to go. So your work is suffering. You're not paying attention to your colleagues. You're not paying attention to your physical signs that you're actually full. You just keep going and going and going until, you burst. And then you have the small break. You have lunch, of course, you have more snacks, and then you need to leave work. And that's where now you're supposed to be among people and like friends and family. But if you have a binge eating disorder, first of all, you feel rather off, full, very often disgusted with what you have done, and you are in the mentality, this is going to be one of my binge eating days. So on the way back home, you might stop at your favorite, pastry shop, and then you buy some stuff, and then you stop by the shop and you are actively searching for foods that will give you that high, that like, oh, I want to eat all these foods. You're planning, you're imagining, you're visualizing yourself eating all those foods once you get home. Like, nothing in that cart screams more binge eating than that, because you are not even thinking, oh, this is nourishing and this is pleasure and this is, no, it's only like binging, 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 because I don't know when will I be able to have those foods because I plan to go on a diet very soon. And then once you get home, that's when the feast starts. Like, you put your sweatpants on, you put the TV on, and this is now the biggest sign that something is off. When you prefer to stay home with your food instead of going out, you start lying a lot. You have to find an excuse why you cannot go out. You have to find an excuse why you're not available. You might say, I'm sick, I have work to do, I'm away, I'm having another event. And you're constantly inventing stories for the people around you, for your family members, why you cannot show up to functions, or why you cannot show up for dinner, or why you cannot go out with your friends for drinks or whatever, because the version that makes you happy is you binging. It's not you going out and forgetting what you did for the whole day, because you cannot. Like, you already feel physically unwell and you just want the day to be over, and it will be over on a high with a lot of food in your belly. So lying to the people around you so that you can binge is a very telling sign that this is not just, oh, I want to stay home with some food and have my, Ben and Jerry's and watch a movie. This is more than that. This is you having a double identity. This is you hiding a part of yourself from people because you are ashamed of the foods you're eating, you're ashamed of the secrecy behind it, you're ashamed of having a problem that no one knows about, you're ashamed and disgusted with the amount of food that there is around you, like who eats like that, like you don't have a very good self-image, and with that you just cannot go into the world. So having that double life, lying people, sneaking, hiding in secrecy food throughout the day, and especially in the evening if you are able to be home alone, is a very telling sign that this is more than I occasionally overeat, it's more than I like food, it's more than I need my food tonight to help me cope. This is more of a sign that there is a binging tendency that can turn into a serious binge eating disorder that you actually need to solve right away. Because if you don't, then the tendency behind it is to go into restriction mode. And that's a slippery slope, because it means that your life might turn out to be a cycle of binging and hiding from others, and then restricting and also hiding from others, like that you're not eating, and then just perpetually being into that cycle. So if you are noticing that you're not being very honest with the people that care about you, with the people around you, it might be a sign that this is a problem that you need to solve. And hope this helps. If you want more tips and more information about emotional eating and binge eating disorder and how to end both of these conditions without severe dieting restrictions, click the subscribe button and I will give you more tips.